Hey guys, Kiriyama Sparta here again with another review, but I'm not going to be running this one.
I'm the boss.
She's the boss, you know. I feel she's done enough. Also, she's the only one who's read it. But Sarah's. This is Sarah.
Hello.
Forgot to introduce her.
Well, everyone
Good
knows
friend.
who I am.
They better.
Because I'm famous.
Yeah, she's the only reason you turn in, right?
Sure.
I got you. Anywho, she's read, well, like we were saying in the last video, it's 0 month time, and Batman Detective Comics, number 0.
Number 0.
I don't like saying that, number 0, that sounds weird.
That's what it says in the front.
Number 0 just came out, and Sarah kind of blazed through it. I haven't read it yet, so I'm excited to find out what happens. Oh, this is as excited as I get.
I know.
Anyway. So she'll be taking the reins here. So, tell me about Batman Detective Comics.
Well, here's the cover of it. And when they first announced that they were doing 0 month, because ever since New 52, they've kind of rebooted a lot of the history for a lot of the people.
Yeah,
So
Harley Quinn.
So I was kind of scared about what they would do for each superhero, especially Batman, because it's Batman.
In case you couldn't tell.
Is kind of
She's got kind of like a chick crush.
Or a regular crush.
She's got a stalker crush on
Yes, that works too. So I was a little bit scared going in because I didn't know what they would do.
Oh yeah, well, you know, considering what they've done to a lot of the people in the relaunch, I mean, it's fair to be...
Yeah.
Going a little cautiously.
Yeah, but I was still scared because Batman's my baby and I don't want them to mess with my baby. Anyway. So it first opens up with a picture of a building on mountains. And they show Bruce Wayne showing up at this place asking for some monk guy because he wants to study under him. Zen Buddhist monk warrior, master of mind control is what he's called.
That's a mouthful.
I know, there's no commas.
That's quite the sweet title to have.
A woman answers the door and Bruce asks for this guy. She said no one's here by that name. Locks him out and he sits there for a few days and then the actual dude comes out.
Oh, one of those tests. It's like Fight Club.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
You can say Fight Club.
Fight Club.
No copyright.
But the first rule is you don't talk about Fight Club.
Fuck, I screwed up. Shit.
Rules.
Tyler Durden will kill me.
And then, I guess I should say, it says 10 years ago. Somewhere in the Himalayas 10 years ago.
So, this is obviously him becoming...
This is the beginning.
This sounds like Batman Begins.
It actually takes quite a bit from it.
Oh, it does? Oh, okay.
From what I can see. And then it cuts to him 6 months later, training with a sword, cutting coconuts. And this monk guy is acting all,
monkish.
Unimpressed, embarrassing, distasteful, and all that kind of stuff.
He's pie-maying it up.
Yeah. And then Bruce has to go sharpen the blades, clean the weapons, so he goes to this place to do it, and there's a cute little girl working there. That he's obviously been there a lot before, because the girl says, "Hey, do you want a piece of fruit?" And Bruce says no, and then she goes on about how he never smiles.
Fucking Batman, he doesn't smile for shit.
And her dad comes out of the back room, and he's all, not the girl's dad, at the shop, comes out of the back room and yells at the girl, and Bruce's eyes get all hard. Because he's like,
don't talk to my woman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Lame claim, I like that.
Why not? The next scene is really sweet in a weird kind of way.
Okay.
It's Bruce sitting down with the woman and the man who run this thing, the monk and the woman helper, I don't really know what she is.
Okay, like his assistant or something.
I think it's his wife.
Or a nurse.
He doesn't really say 100% what she is.
We just assume wife. They both look old.
They're very old. And Bruce says to them, this is the first place I felt at home. I've been to all these different places in the world training. This is the first place I felt like home. What's the dude's name? He doesn't say it's the name. But the monk, he's like, "You're like my father," and the woman is like my mother. And then the dude, the monk guy, gets up and says, "I'm not your father, and she's not your mother," and storms off. And the woman puts her hand on his shoulder and says, doesn't say anything, but just that tender moment of the hand on the shoulder, and there's all shadows and brooding and
Batman.
that kind of stuff. It obviously meant a lot to Bruce, and it just got shot down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
The next scene is them on a mountain, and the monk is talking to him about how he needs to expel emotion in order to fight for other people.
Okay.
And the quote that he says, I actually really, really, really liked. He says, "You must see all the suffering of the world as black smoke, and you must take it in and absorb it. All the world's hatred, fear, rage, breathe it in. It is yours now." And it shows Bruce inhaling the black smoke, and then he exhales the white exhaust, or whatever the proper word is.
He filtered the air.
Yes. And then the monk says, "And breathe out white light. Rid yourself of your own love, compassion, and joy. Give it to the world." So basically he's telling him you're not allowed to feel joy or compassion for yourself. You're fighting for that for other people. That's what he's saying.
That's kind of nice. I like that. Like his whole mentality.
Yeah, kind of. So you can see where it's all coming from.
Yeah.
The next thing you see is Bruce coming back in from meditating, and Bruce says to this woman, "I was meditating to expel all emotion," and the woman says, "That's not the point. The point is to bury it deep underground, but you still have to have it."
Oh, okay.
So she's clearly fighting for him to feel and not just completely shut it out like what the monk wants. Then Bruce is doing meditation on ice, naked. He's underwear on, but he's pretty much naked. He's trying to fight off the cold, and the monk is trying to tell him to focus and concentrate. And Bruce can't get this girl out of his head.
Oh,
the shop girl,
the shop
Mio
girl. Okay.
is her name. Can't get her out of her head, so he's having a hard time focusing. And the monk gets all angry at him because he can't
This
focus.
monk sounds like he's just always angry.
He is. He's trying to train him, right?
I
So
guess,
he's gonna be a dick. Bruce goes back the next day to sharpen the blades, and this time Mio gives him a little note saying, "Meet me in the gardens tomorrow at noon." Ooh. And that's the first time you see Bruce smile. He's cute.
Aww, he's got a little monk
crush.
school crush.
Yeah, he's cute.
Because those happen all the time.
All the time. The next day when they meet up, they just lay in the grass, looking at the clouds. "Oh, that one looks like a dog. That one looks like a whatever." And then Bruce gets all broody and says, "That one looks like a string of pearls," and gets all sad.
Oh.
And then this Mio chick grabs a watch off his wrist that his parents gave him.
Oh.
And just joking around, "Oh, you can't catch me." And Bruce gets mad, snatches it away, says, "I shouldn't be doing this," and the girl walks off into the shadows, because, bummed out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big spread. And then, I'm assuming they don't meet up for a while.
Yeah.
They don't mention it. Bruce is sitting underneath the waterfall and is completely focused on keeping the pain away.
Yeah.
The monk is talking to him. Bruce doesn't register that he's talking to him.
Oh.
Because
the
monk goes, "Bruce," and he's shocked out of whatever he's doing. And then the monk says, "Now I'm proud of you.
Oh.
Now I'm impressed." The next scene sets up what happens for the ending. The woman is talking to Bruce about how the monk locks himself up in this tower so no one can get to him.
Oh, okay.
He locks himself up like a precious jewel, is what she says. And she doesn't want that to happen to Bruce. She wants him to feel emotion. She doesn't want him to come all shut up and dead to the world like this monk guy is.
Okay.
Then Bruce goes to bed after that conversation. He can't stop thinking about the girl.
Again.
About Mio. So he runs in the storm. Of course, it's storming and raining.
Yes.
Pathetic fallacy. Runs to the store, talks to the girl, says, "I can't stop thinking about you. I'm sorry about what happened last time. We need to meet up again." The girl says that if her dad catches him there, she'll be in deep trouble. So she's going to meet him back at the tower monastery that he's at.
He's training.
And he says, "I'll keep a window open for you, for her to sneak in so they can hang out. Play games and watch
patty
TV.
cake. That whole stuff.
Something. So the next scene shows the feet of a ninja coming through the window that he's left open.
Oh.
Bruce is sleeping. Then there's the ninja standing over the old woman and the man. And ninja stabs the monk through the shoulder
or something
area.
Okay.
Stabs him. Bruce busts in, kicks the ninja in the head. Fight breaks out. Pulls off the mask. Bam! It's Mio. It's the girl. He's like, "What? Why would you do this?"
She's an assassin.
And she says, "I was paid to do it." So he whips his head around. All of a sudden, the old woman has a big freaking knife in her hand, assuming to stab Bruce, and then she's stabbed in the back by the old man because he hadn't quite died yet. So that's the end of that.
So who died and what? So the old woman got stabbed?
The old woman got stabbed in the back by the old man because he wasn't quite dead yet.
Oh.
He was just stabbed. Forgotten about. Old woman comes up to stab Bruce. She's stabbed in the back with the old man's sword.
Oh, fair enough.
And as she's dying, she tells Bruce, I did this. I paid Neo to come in here and kill him because I'm tired of him locking me away. I'm tired of being locked away from the world.
Oh.
She doesn't want to be lonely anymore,
Okay.
is what it says. And it shows a little tiny panel on the bottom here of Bruce's watch
Okay.
in a pool of blood, and there's a little tiny shadow glimmer of him when he was a kid and his parents getting stabbed, or shot rather.
Yeah.
So there's kind of, I don't know if you can see that.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Whatever. He's obviously feeling like he just lost his parents again.
Yeah.
Everything has just been turned around because of what this person did.
Oh, I like that. That's a cool shot.
So they're dead. He's holding them, and this is the next shot.
Bloody bat.
Which is awesome.
Like that. And I like how the shadows make his eyes look like he's still got the mask on. That's
It's
cool.
It's awesome. And then we go to 7 years ago. So the last stuff was 10 years ago.
So now it's
7
so
years
3
ago.
years after what just happened.
It's at Wayne Manor, and it's just poor old Alfred. And one thing they did Alfred's inner thoughts.
Oh, that's
Which you don't see hardly ever, so it's nice getting Alfred's little, whatever he's thinking.
Yeah.
He's just talking about how much he misses Bruce, how he's waiting for him to come back, and he thinks he's dead, but he knows that he's still out there somewhere.
Yeah.
And doorbell rings, Alfred goes to answer it, and it's some guy, some kind of relation to Bruce's parents,
Okay.
Martha Kane. I don't know if he's a lawyer or just a cousin or something.
Yeah.
And this blondie, I don't know his name.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Mr. Shaw. Mr. Shaw bursts in and starts a conversation that Alfred and him have obviously had many times before.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Shaw is talking about how Bruce is assumed dead, and Mr. Shaw is saying that this estate kind of belongs to the Kane family, half of the Kane family, because it belonged to his mom.
We only got like 1 minute left.
I'll cut it out. Do you want me to start over again?
No. Just keep going.
Cut that out.
We'll just rush it.
And Alfred says, no, screw you, this belongs to me because that's what their will says.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Shaw gets pissed off and leaves.
Okay.
That's more or less what happens.
Oh, that's
Slams
what
the door.
Okay.
Doorbell rings again. Who can it be?
Bruce with the beard.
Bruce with the beard. Which is awesome because you never see Bruce with that much facial hair. So manly. So, big happy reunion. He's happy to be there.
Yeah.
Alfred's like, where the heck were you? It ends with Bruce saying, I've got a lot to tell you, just sit down. I'm glad you never gave up on me, and
Fair enough.
here's what I have an idea for.
I like it.
It's actually really, really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Happily surprised.
Better than what you were expecting?
Better than I was expecting.
Very good.
Which wasn't much, so hey.
Yeah.
Yay.
Just keep your expectations low and you'll be fine.
More or
Yeah,
less.
that sounds awesome. That's great.
It's good.
I like
Go
it.
read it.
Yeah, definitely go check it out. I like just hearing it.
And the art is really good
and the
too.
art's good too. I always gotta talk about the art.
Yeah.
Sorry, gotta kind of rush the end here, but this is Kiriyama Sparta. Sarah. Jen, she did a review. She did awesome.
Yay!
Yeah, more 0 month to come. If you like the video, like, favorite, subscribe, do all those things.
All of them.
Please. See you at the next comic book roundup.
Bye.
Bye-bye.